Do you ever get a weird feeling that something's not right? That's how people who follow the royal family have felt about Meghan Markle's pregnancies for years. From baby bumps that seem to vanish to strange media moves, people have been whispering that something's wrong. Now those whispers are turning into loud alarms. A woman called DL has come forward with shocking claims. She says she's the real mother of Archie and Lilibet. Yes, both kids. And she says she's tired of staying quiet. According to her, she was hired through an agency in California, promised secrecy, and kept hidden while Meghan wore maternity clothes in public. DL claims she was the secret surrogate for both births. If this is true, it changes everything. Meghan's image as a strong, independent royal mom, targeted by the palace, starts to fall apart. And Harry, he's not just supporting her, he's caught in the middle. If DL's story is real, Harry either didn't know, which seems unlikely, or he knew and helped hide it. Let's go back for a moment. Think about how private Meghan's pregnancies were. No photos of her leaving the hospital like Kate, no reporters outside the Linda wing, no media updates. Just a strange, late announcement about Archie's birth after he was supposedly already born. Remember, Harry stood awkwardly in front of a stable, announcing the birth like he was reading lines. Then, 2 days later, Meghan appeared looking glowing and oddly slim. People brushed it off saying she recovered quickly, but now they're wondering if she even gave birth. Then there's that famous 2019 video. You've seen it. Meghan sits down in an interview, and her baby bump seems to fold. Not just crease, but fold. That clip started years of rumors, kicking off the moon bump theory that she wore fake bellies to pretend she was pregnant. Back then, it sounded like a crazy conspiracy. But with DL speaking out, those internet detectives don't seem so wild anymore. DL's story is shocking but full of details. She talks about medical records, hospital bills, and signed secrecy contracts. She says she was kept in near total isolation during both pregnancies to avoid leaks, then pushed aside after the babies were born. No thanks, no payment, just silence. She claims Meghan wore a fake belly, practiced her public appearances, and created an illusion the whole world believed until now. Here's another twist. When Archie's birth certificate came out, Meghan's full legal name, Rachel Meghan Markle, was replaced with Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Palace insiders called it a formatting error, but Meghan blamed the royals, saying it wasn't her choice. Now it looks like a legal trick, because if she didn't give birth, using her real name on the document could have caused lawsuits. Meanwhile, online, the rumors are exploding. People are analyzing videos frame by frame. Photos of Meghan at different pregnancy stages are being compared. One day, she looked 8 months pregnant. The next, barely showing. And don't forget the Morocco trip. She told someone she was 6 months pregnant just weeks after saying she was 5. A small mistake, maybe, but now it feels like a planned lie. This isn't just about appearances. It's about the legitimacy of 2 kids in the royal family. That has consequences way beyond gossip magazines and social media. The woman DL isn't hiding anymore. In her first TV appearance, she looked at the camera and said, "I was promised privacy and payment. Instead, I was erased." That one sentence set off a firestorm across news outlets and social media. She claims during both pregnancies, she stayed in a private, fully staffed house near Los Angeles. No phone, no contact, just silence. Her job was to carry the children quietly while Meghan acted the part for the cameras. DL says it was coldly professional. Doctors checked on her weekly. She signed strict secrecy contracts that made her fear for her future if she ever spoke out after Lilibet was born. She says she never saw either child again. No photos, no updates, just silence, and the painful realization she was never meant to be part of the story. Meghan had already filmed content, set up staged moments, and hired people to control what the world saw. Then there's Prince Harry. DL insists he knew from the start. She claims he visited her once, briefly, to thank her and give her a letter of gratitude. That's where it gets darker. If Harry knew and let the royal story unfold with a fake pregnancy, it's not just a personal betrayal, it could be seen as constitutional fraud. The royal family isn't just a celebrity brand, it's a legal institution with rules about succession and lineage. Questions about Archie and Lilibet's births go beyond gossip. They hit at the core of royal legitimacy. DL's claims are now making legal experts ask a big question. Can children born through a secret surrogate, not properly reported to the palace or public records, hold royal titles? Social media is going wild. Meghan's supporters call it nonsense, a smear campaign to ruin her. But even her biggest fans are starting to go quiet. For the first time, big accounts that used to defend her are asking for clarity. If it's all lies, where's the denial? Why isn't Meghan suing? Why hasn't she posted a video or issued a press release? The silence feels less like a plan and more like panic. Meanwhile, Harry is reportedly falling apart behind the scenes. Insiders say he's yelling at staff, cutting off friends, and can't control the story spiraling around him. Some say he feels trapped, not just by the public but by Meghan herself. Things are tense at home. The couple is said to be sleeping in separate rooms, barely speaking, and arguing constantly in private. Meghan is focused on protecting her brand and watching the press, while Harry is stuck between loyalty and fear. One insider said Harry begged Meghan to make a public statement, but she refused, believing that admitting to a surrogate makes it real. The biggest shock, DL has agreed to a DNA test. She says she's ready to go on record, give samples, and testify in court. That's what no one expected: proof. Real, biological proof. If that happens, the whole story collapses. The palace is reportedly in silent crisis mode. No statements, no leaks, just eerie quiet. But constitutional advisors are holding emergency meetings to figure out the damage if DL's claims are true. The pressure is intense. Behind their perfect Montecito home, Meghan is in damage control mode. But there's only so much she can do when her public image is cracking. Her carefully built motherhood story, once celebrated in headlines and Netflix deals, is now being questioned as a possible act, complete with staged photos, scripted interviews, and what critics call an optical illusion. That video of her belly folding keeps resurfacing. Once dismissed as a bad camera angle or wardrobe issue, it's now seen as key evidence. Fashion experts who praised her maternity style are now silent, unwilling to talk about those odd inconsistencies. One day, her bump looked big and high. The next, it seemed to shrink, disappear, or shift. The public no longer sees coincidence, they see a planned performance. And while Meghan stays quiet, her former allies are starting to back away. A stylist who worked on a pregnancy shoot hinted recently that things weren't as they seemed. A former aide, speaking anonymously, said there were internal talks about inconsistencies in the pregnancies, but the Sussex team shut them down. It was a forbidden topic. Ask and you are out. The fallout has reached Buckingham Palace, and they can't ignore it this time. Senior officials are reportedly reviewing royal rules, especially about succession. Because if Archie and Lilibet were born via a surrogate and that was never disclosed to the crown, it creates a legal problem for the line of inheritance. Royal historians say this is unheard of in modern royal history. No deception this big has ever come close to the throne. There's talk about possibly removing titles. Nothing's official yet, but insiders say advisors are making backup plans, including stripping HRH status and distancing the couple publicly. One source said plainly, the monarchy can't be seen supporting a lie, especially about the bloodline. Meanwhile, DL has hired lawyers. They're preparing sworn statements and pushing for a televised deposition. She claims to have kept copies of emails with the surrogacy agency, medical scans, and delivery confirmations. Her lawyers argue her story was suppressed and her identity erased, breaking California contract laws. What's especially damaging is Meghan's silence. This is a woman who sued tabloids, fought back against headlines, and called out lies in real time. But now, nothing. No tweets, no statement, no Instagram posts. When public figures go quiet in a PR storm, the silence speaks for itself. Harry's response isn't helping either. He's reportedly stressed to the breaking point. Friends say he's not sleeping, not eating, and questioning everything. Some close to him claim he was never fully okay with the plan but felt trapped. One friend said he thought he was protecting Meghan. Now he's the one who needs protection. The saddest part is the children. If DL is telling the truth, Archie and Lilibet have been placed at the center of a calculated lie, used as pawns in a global story to boost a brand. Their legitimacy is now being questioned publicly, and their future in the royal institution is uncertain. This isn't just a media storm, it's a credibility collapse. Meghan and Harry once portrayed themselves as victims of royal cruelty, but now they face accusations of betrayal, manipulation, and possibly fraud. The public isn't just asking for answers anymore. They're demanding accountability.